All right, hey kids. So let's just talk a little bit about pedigree charts here. So a pedigree chart is essentially a way of tracing the inheritance of a trait from parents to offspring over several generations. Usually, it's used in humans or large animals, where traditional crosses, like the Mendelian crosses, wouldn't be feasible or ethical. So, for example, you can't force children to mate with each other, like the F1 population or offspring of the parents. You can't just force them, human children, to reproduce. Also, it would take a long time. You'd have to wait, until puberty, until they're reproductively possible, and from there you'd have to mate them, and then you have to wait for their children, and that just, to me, seems unethical. I think to the majority of the world. Now, when you look at pedigrees, we have shaded individuals. These are shaded right here, shaded, and then we have unshaded. And shaded individuals are always the affected. So whatever disorder you're talking about are the shaded ones. Okay, there's some symbols that you have to understand for pedigrees. So let's take a look at those really quickly. So we have squares. Squares are males. Let's use a symbol for brevity. And then circles are females. Okay. Whenever you have shaded, like I already said, the shaded individuals, those are the affected. So they're the ones that have the disorder. If you're talking about albinism, the shaded ones would be albino. If you're talking about hemophilia, the shaded would be hemophilia, and that means that the unshaded are the unaffected or the normal. Now, what is normal, right? So they'd be unaffected. Let's put that in brackets. If you have two individuals, a male and a female, a female and a male, whatever, and then they have this line connecting, this horizontal line, that's a mating line. That means that they are mating. So, you know what that means. I don't need to explain mating to you. Watch a different video. And if you have two of these horizontal lines, that means they're close relatives, which is kind of, they're mating and they're close relatives. Mate. Okay, good enough. There's no I on there. And then there's a whole bunch of symbols, and usually the symbols are given to you. I know for Biology 30 in Alberta, where I come from, in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, we used to be known for the world's largest mall. Now we don't have the world's largest mall, but our world's largest mall, that isn't the world's largest mall, still has the world's largest parking lot. So there's something to be proud of. Anyway, here we get all the symbols given to us for our grade 12 class. So then in this case here we have two females, and they are not mating together because they come from this origin line right here, a result of a mating individual here and here, and they had two kids at one time. This is one birthing event, and then they have a line there to show that they are actually identical. So this is identical twins. Twins. Now, if they were not identical, they wouldn't have that. If they are fraternal twins, it'd be the exact same, and then they would not have this line in between. Okay, so those are just some symbols that you need to be familiar with. Then we have some more things here. So this Roman numeral 1, 2, 3, this signifies the generations. This is the first generation. The second generation, if the second generation has kids like this one right here, then they'd have a third generation. If this person here met up with another person, they would have a fourth generation. So that's the generation. And then we have the mating or the birth order, or just the order in general for identifying. And those are the Arabic numbers, the normal numbers here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. In this case here, where these two people have offspring, they would have the oldest would be the daughter, the middle child. I don't know if you can relate, but children are kind of like forgotten about. Actually, I'm not a middle child, so I'm not sure why I said that. But middle child right here, okay? And then the third, or the youngest, is right here. And the youngest, believe it or not, has mated with this person here. I know the oldest daughter was like, he'll never meet anybody. But look at that, he did, right here, the love of his life. And they had two kids, and of course they got daughters, which is just beautiful. Okay, so if you have a mating pair, if you connect this line, whatever this line connects to, those are their offspring. So they had 3 kids. Note that this one here does not have a connecting line. So that's not a direct biological offspring. That would be the daughter-in-law, I guess, if they're married. What else? Okay, these are the affected individuals. These are all unaffected. So you can have an affected parent that has unaffected offspring. It depends on the inheritance pattern, doesn't it?